last part we're going to go over is a microcycle. So microcycle is each individual week. As we went over in the second video, mesocycle is each training phase. So it might be 4 weeks of a volume block that we went over. And then macrocycle is an entire training cycle leading up to a competition. So we did that in the first video, showing how to work backwards from the competition week, putting in your taper, your peak, your strength blocks, volume blocks, all that. So now we're working on an individual week. And so the goal of individual week should be trying to get all your training in while focusing on recovery, getting your rest days. Because if you're going to be doing multiple sessions of the same lift, so say for example you're going to squat 2 times a week, bench 2 times a week, deadlift 2 times a week, then you need to be recovering between those squat sessions, between those bench sessions and deadlift sessions. If you're only squatting once a week, benching once a week, deadlifting once a week, and then taking the rest of the days off, then that's different, because you're going to have the full week from Monday to Monday to squat and the full Tuesday to bench. Okay, so when we're going into the 2, 3, 4 times frequency, we want to look at our recovery and our rest days. So typically, if you're doing a hard training session, especially like a higher volume or higher rep, like a bodybuilding workout, you're going to want 72 hours is what you're trying to go for. So put this in the bottom, 72 hours of rest. All right. So it's not going to be the same for everyone, but general concept, 72 hours rest between muscle groups. Okay, so if we're starting off Monday, let's do bench, since Monday is International Bench Day, and we want to bench with all the bros. So we put a bench day in there. So we don't want to bench on Tuesday because that's only 24 hours rest, but we can bench on Thursday because that'll be our 72 hours rest, or we can bench on Friday, as that'll give us an extra day. That'll give us 96 hours. But let's say we want to do it 72 hours. So we'll put our bench day here. And then on the back end, you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. So you get 3 days in between here, and then 4 days before you start up your next week. So you got your 72 hours here and then 96 hours coming back into the next block. So now let's go to our squat and deadlift. So now we're going to put our squat and deadlift on Tuesday. Okay. And then again, we can put it on Friday for our second session. Like that. So again, we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we have 72 hours between our squat and deadlifts inside the week. And then we have the 4 days, 96 hours going into the following week. Okay. You are doing the same muscle groups here by doing a squat and deadlift back to back. So depending on how much squatting you do, you may be fatigued doing the deadlift. So you have to take that into account, obviously, when you're doing the specific programming. So you might want to do a harder squat here and a lighter deadlift here, and a lighter squat here and a harder deadlift here. Or you can even switch this and deadlift first, and it can be harder, and then do squats afterwards. Or if squats build your deadlift well, you can do squats first on both of them and go harder on both of them. And then just know that you have to lighten up the deadlifts a little bit on the percentages, because you're going to be fatigued, but you're still going to make the progress based on the squat. Okay. And like I said, usually the higher volume, higher reps, like the bodybuilding workouts, are going to cause more muscular fatigue, and it's going to take longer to recover. So if here we have Tuesday and Wednesday off only between the bench days, but here we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, then we want to make this bench session our higher volume bodybuilding workout. That way we have the 4 full days of rest coming into Monday for the higher intensity strength day to make sure we're fully recovered. So you can even put in here, comma, hypertrophy, or just hyper, or bodybuilding, if you're doing a volume block. And then here, it's going to be lower volume, higher intensity. We can just call it strength. And that'll be the same for the squat and deadlift. So that'll be our strength, and this will be a hypertrophy bodybuilding. That way, after causing the muscular damage On the hypertrophy days, you have 4 days off. All right, so here's another schedule you can do: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So here, let's do squat and deadlift first this time, just to make it different. You can see different ways to do it. And then we'll do our bench here. So now we're getting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off before we do our squat and dead. And then we're getting our Thursday, Friday off here to do our bench. So here we're getting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off between squat and deadlift. So now this would be our bodybuilding hypertrophy workout, and this will be our strength, because your CNS will be able to recover faster between Saturday and Sunday going into bench. And then I've been going into Monday for the next squat and deadlift. And here we have Thursday and Friday off, so this will actually be reverse. So the bench will start off with strength, and then this one will be bodybuilding. So you're actually getting a little bit of switch between the two in this way, where you're doing a high rep, high volume squat deadlift workout, and then a strength bench workout, and then your strength squat and deadlift workout, and then a high volume hypertrophy bench workout. So that's another way to do it, and then you're still getting those, at least those 72 hours rest. All right, then here's another option. If you're doing higher frequency, so we're doing 6 days a week, and say we're doing 3 squats, 3 benches, and then we'll just put in 2 deadlifts. Okay, so now it's a little harder here. You can't get the full 72 hours rest because you're only taking 1 rest day and you're training back to back to back with the 3 times frequency. So what you want to do is then you have to add in another kind of workout. So let's write this out. We're going to do our squat and our dead here. We're going to do our bench here. We'll do only squat in the middle, since we said we're only going to do 2 times on the deadlift, but 3 times on the squat and bench. So then we'll put a bench in here. And then we'll do another squat and dead here. And then we'll finish off with a bench here. Okay, so now we're only getting 48 hours rest and then 48 hours rest. Best case scenario, if for some reason you train late at night here and then early morning here, it's actually going to be less. So what we're going to do is we'll start off the week with our bodybuilding workouts for our squat, deadlift, and bench. Okay, so that means here we're still going to be fatigued for the squat. So what we have to do is what's called a power or dynamic workout. Same thing here. It's going to be 48 hours at best. So we're going to do another power or dynamic workout. And then we'll put our strength ones down here. Before starting up our following week. So what you're getting with this is the power workouts are going to be moderate intensity and very low volume, which is kind of going to be like an active recovery. You're going to do some work, you're going to work on technique, your speed, but you're still going to be able to recover. Your body's going to be able to overcome that workout because it's not as much fatigue to cause more damage. So your body's still going to be working, recovering in time for the strength workout. So really, you're getting Monday to Friday, which is very similar to what we did up here, Monday to Thursday, or even here, Monday to Friday. But you're getting a little extra workout in there to work on your technique, work on your speed, make sure your walkout's good, your setup's good, all that kind of stuff. Build up maybe some kind of fatigue for that session, but it's still not enough that's going to cause a gap here in recovery. All right, so it depends on how you build this to make sure you're getting that recovery. So a lot of times for some of you guys, we'll do some lighter doubles. So we might do like 5 sets of 2 at 75 to 85%. I'll just put in 75 here. but depending on how you're progressing, we might just do 5 sets of 2 at 75%, something that you can do a lot more reps for. But we're just working on technique. We might do stuff for bench, like longer pauses for doubles and triples. We might do 5 sets of 2 at 65%, but with a longer pause. So working on, again, technique, tightness on the chest, and then explosiveness off the chest with the lighter weights. For some of you, if we're doing deadlift, sometimes we do deadlifts with the bands with lighter weight, so maybe 50 to 60% with the bands. And the bands are going to help you power through that lockout, or get speed through the lockout. Also could work on your grip strength as the bands are pulling down the bar, trying to pull out your hand. So you get a little grip training in with the lighter weights while you're recovering. So that would be the way to do it. So some people call this hypertrophy, power, strength, or you can just look at it as a high volume, high rep bodybuilding day, then a moderate intensity, low volume power day to let your body recover, work on your technique, work on your explosiveness, to get some blood flowing in your body, do some stretching, that kind of stuff, so that then you are recovered for your strength days. And then here you have Saturday and Sunday into Monday, so you still get 72 hours going from your strength, squat, and dead into your next week. Same thing here with bench. You get Sunday, Monday off into Tuesday, so again you get 72 hours going from your bench strength into the following week. So you start off fresh again to start off this week. All right, so those are a few different ways you can do it for 2 times frequency. This is also 2 times frequency. This is 3 times frequency for squat and bench. Obviously, you can shift these days as well. So it doesn't have to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It can be Tuesday, Wednesday, then take Thursday off, and then do Friday, Saturday. So it doesn't matter which day you're starting at. It just depends on which days you're taking your rest days and which days you're putting in the strength days and which days you're putting in the hypertrophy days to try and get that 72 hours rest, especially between the hypertrophy day going into the strength day, since that's the one that's going to cause more muscle damage and fatigue to your body. The strength days won't cause as much muscle damage. It'll cause a little CNS fatigue, but that's easier to recover from. Okay, so these days can be shifted. Just keeping the rest days and the 72 hours in mind. You can even do kind of a midweek thing if you want to go Wednesday, Thursday, then take Friday off, and then go Saturday, Sunday, so that you get 2 of your workouts in. Maybe your important strength days you want to get in over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. When you're not at work, you have more time to eat, drink, prepare. Maybe you have a team that you go train with and meet up, and you have more. You can spend 3 hours there, so you can shift these days however you need to. But this is the basic idea. We pretty much, most of you guys do this or this one because I like the 2 times frequency, and most of you have a job and life outside of training, so 4 times a week is enough. And then if you want to do cardio, you can always do cardio on one of the off days or after one of these training days. But some of you do this 6 times a week as well, since we've moved on to higher frequency and volume, and you have the time to train the 6 weeks. All right, so I hope that helps, going over a macro cycle, the entire training cycle, going into a competition, going over a mesocycle, which is each training phase. So we looked at the volume, 4-week volume phase, and then a microcycle, which is each individual week, breaking down what to do each session of the week to maximize recovery.